should we get started?
Sounds good.
Yep. Okay. So first of all, thank you everyone for joining our second Shopify meetup that in Hong Kong that is hosted by Hula. My name is Calvin, and I'm from Hula. Today we will be talking about growth, conversion, and replication of retail store experience, and also how personalization and localization can help your online store grow. For our speakers today, we have myself at Hula, Frankie at Shopify, Ken at Bonusship, Matt at Dot Digital, Yonat from Trapple, Lily from GoGoX, and last but not least, Julio from Happier. And now we'll start the panel discussion between Matt at Dot Digital and Yonat from Trapple.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Calvin. Great to see you again. I want to kind of just introduce Yonat rather than me do it, sir. Would you like to tell everyone a little bit about yourself and the business?
Yes, absolutely. I actually learned something in Cantonese. My colleagues told me that if I want to say how are you, it's Tai Gao Ho. My pronunciation is probably crap, but anyway. So just an icebreaker. My name is Jonas Danifeld, and I'm the CMO of Trapple. We are the #1 car accessories company in Southeast Asia. At the moment, we are present in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and we have plans to expand in other countries. Our main product are car mats and car accessories. Just a little bit about our mission is to provide a safe and hygiene, comfortable driving experience for any driver in Southeast Asia. And some fun facts regarding me: I'm only from Romania, been living in Southeast Asia for about more or less 6 years, and I'm coming from a background in marketing and advertising for about 12 years.
Fantastic, thank you very much. It's something you mentioned when we were kind of chatting about kind of doing this presentation. You've changed some of the terminology that you use within kind of like your marketing, specifically around the safe element that you were mentioning.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we are in the automotive sector. So when COVID actually started, our headline was to be the #1 car mat and car accessories company in Southeast Asia. And we realized with testing and a little bit of intuition, since our products are everything that we are doing is in this hygiene space, we shifted our tagline and we said that we are the most hygienic car mat and car accessories company in Southeast Asia. And that actually created for us an opportunity from a perspective of setting a mindset for the consumers to trust a product that is in this hygiene space, and created a huge difference for us in terms of revenue and brand awareness and recognition.
Yeah, it's something that we'll probably touch on a little bit later around the kind of journey you go through for that testing and that continuous improvement that is so prevalent at kind of the business and what you've put in place. But you've started, you know, your journey with Shopify Plus at the end of last year, kind of getting your feet wet, kind of getting it started, and then things obviously changed. And also that physical presence that you have as well from your stores. What was that migration like for you?
So to give a little bit of background, before we were on WordPress and WooCommerce, and it was an absolute nightmare from a perspective of scaling the business, because we have roughly, I would say, anything between 3,000 and 4,000 SKUs, and we're constantly adding. And we actually couldn't scale with the WordPress and WooCommerce, and that is why we made the decision. And it was, I think, the best decision possible that we can have for our business to move to Shopify. And it helped us enormously to control all of the SKU, to integrate, to create a seamlessly opportunity for online and offline, because we have around 6 stores in Malaysia, 2 stores in Indonesia, 1 store in Singapore. And because we are an omni-channel solution, Shopify was basically helping us with their solution of Shopify Plus, and the POS integration made a huge success for us, and all of the apps that we wanted from a perspective of, you know, scaling the business and analyzing the traffic and taking the business to the next level.
It's one of the things that is so wonderful about Shopify, the ability to plug and play certified apps and to kind of build, you called it your kind of 360-degree marketing system. You also had a wonderful analogy of Shopify, which I quite like.
Yeah. Yeah, I should trademark this. I like to, so first of all, regarding what you said regarding the 360-degree, that's our way of doing business and marketing. Everything is connecting in this ecosystem. All of the apps that are simultaneously connected in Shopify and among each other. So for example, the digital connection with the Shopify. And the analogy that I gave to you was that I like to call WordPress a little bit like Android and Shopify like Apple. It's so simple to do it, so simple to plug and play, especially for us, but we have certain limitation from a perspective of the IT department. Shopify created a platform that I don't have crashes. I know that the mobile experience is top notch and everything is working seamlessly.
It's really interesting you mentioned about mobile, as we've talked, when we're catching up about this more and more about mobile. And I really liked in Frankie's presentation. He kind of showcased that mobile experience on Facebook, Instagram to kind of reduce that customer journey. Is that something that you would be adopting for kind of as part of your future strategy?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we see based on the data that around 70% of our customers are actually coming from mobile. And the challenge that we had was that with WordPress, it was not, like a website that is mobile friendly. And with Shopify, we don't have any problem. And everything that we are doing from this perspective and how we are attracting the users on the mobile, we're creating a huge focus in this direction to create a loyalty system for them, because we have a loyalty system app. We send the emails via the digital. We provided recently, we integrated with our good friends from Hula. And I think that we were innovators from this space, especially in this car accessories or in the automotive industry. Everything that we are doing, I think is no shame to saying that we are disrupting a little bit the way that we are doing the business and how the automotive business is doing.
Something that's happening more and more, we've seen retailers having to kind of maybe shut down some of their physical stores, much more of a reliance on online, which has been fantastic for all of us who are in the e-commerce world, as we've kind of been given that jump that we need to kind of be at the forefront of innovation and investment. With regards to kind of yourselves, you're slightly different. You've actually, since January, you've opened more stores and you'll be opening more. But how is that going to play? You mentioned Shopify POS, but how are you going to keep all of the kind of customer experience, especially with the kind of future of retail that we're facing?
Yeah, so I think that I need to take it one step behind. With everything that happened with the pandemic, we had our stores closed for 2 months, and that's happened around the world. And we've seen that, for example, the e-commerce, it's a booming business now, and companies that I think that COVID created actually an opportunity for businesses to realize that they need to make much bigger steps in this space of e-commerce. But what we actually seen from the particularity of the market is that for us, as I said before, we are an omni-channel solution, and we realize that from the nature of the country itself and Southeast Asia, we actually opened more stores. We started before the pandemic with 2 stores. We actually opened 4 more. And the reason why we are doing this, because we want to provide that extra touch of the products to basically see them, feel them. We provide experience from a perspective of anything but regarding hygiene. We are launching new products specifically for offline. And with Shopify, for example, what we can do, appointments, you buy online, you get it delivered offline. We have offer installation for our car mats. And that's something that has been working amazing.
It's actually a report that from Stripe. I only read it this morning, so sorry for landing this one on you. They were talking more about, so Stripe and Forrester put together an e-commerce report interviewing merchants and kind of where they'll be focusing their time and attention 64% in Hong Kong. I think it's like 62% in Japan, but all over Southeast Asia, it was very much the same story. Expanding the product line, offering more options was going to be a key driver for their growth, especially over the next 12 months. And having that, you mentioned more products. Is that a significant increase, or is that part of the kind of pandemic, or was that always part of the plan that you kind of wanted to increase the number of products that you offer?
That's always been a plan, because what's our vision is to be, for example, a one-stop solution for any driver that basically has a car or is buying a new car. We are offering our main product are the car mats, but after this we are upselling them all of the car accessories. And something that we are doing and we are seeing is that at the moment that we launch more products, we see also our customers, they trust the brand and they want to buy more. And something that we've been seeing also a lot is we have a lot of return customers. I would say roughly around 20-30% of our customers are actually return customers, which I think that are fantastic numbers from this perspective. And we're creating also the opportunity in the remarketing and retargeting them. We are doing email marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads. We are using influencers. So everything that we are doing in this space is to kind of like push our new line of products.
It's something that I mentioned right at the start, but you have a one-pager, a process that you've implemented within the business. Can you share more about that? I think that's quite a unique way and a fantastic way to really spearhead ideas and make sure things happen within an organization.
Yeah, so what we are doing actually in the end of every year, we are meeting all of the leadership team and we call it a hackathon. I know that is a term that is used mostly for let's say SaaS company or IT company, but
we
have one. You have one, right? Because you're technically a IT company. But what we are doing, we are creating a one-page planner for every single department and a one-page planner for the entire company. And based on the one-pager, every department has certain pillars. So for example, for marketing, for example, for us is email marketing, social media, paid ads, how we can drive traffic to the offline, organic, SEO, and so on. And we're basically splitting that one pager on monthly and quarterly. And we are setting strict KPIs, what we want to achieve, how many emails we want to send, how many influencers we want to approach, how much content we want to create, what's the organic traffic that we want to achieve. And based on that one pager, where I'm basically, as a CMO, I'm delegating different tasks to the entire department. This way, everyone, actually the one pager, and something that is really particular, that this one pager is visible to the entire organization. So everyone is actually aligned. And because our vision as the leader of the company is that as long as your employees are actually working together with you and they see a vision from the leadership team, they know what to do and which direction the company is heading to.
It's fantastic. And as you scale, it's so much more important to have that kind of big idea, and that big idea then actually can translate into something. I will quickly just share, I've got this slide that I really do like that we kind of work with all clients. I was going to talk about how Emily took you through this on it, but starting off with simple tactics about web and email capture and moving that through marketing automation and omnichannel. If you map out what you're doing, you can then actually understand where you're going to go to next. And if anyone is interested, you would like to have a look at some of the tactics that you do, or if you need any help or advice, this is a maturity matrix that we put together with Shopify that would allow you to have in the different categories, whether you want to focus on acquisition, conversion, or retention, there's different articles, workshops, infographics, and videos that will help you get the most out of that next phase of your own marketing development. I do want to kind of just finish off on the final one, the future. We mentioned before just about kind of Facebook and the changes that you're seeing in the last kind of 60, 70 seconds. What does the future look like, and what kind of are you planning for?
Yeah. So first of all, probably what I need to make everyone aware, which is a merchant in this e-commerce space, is that Facebook, with the recent update that we're going to roll out in March, we're going to see probably less opportunities on paid advertising for Facebook for the app users. So we're focusing actually more on the organic, and when I'm saying organic, SEO, email marketing. I need to tell you guys a little bit also US Digital. Digital was one key pillar for us in our success. We actually grown our business with more than 300%, and one of the success was Digital. And everything that we are doing from a perspective of affiliation, influencers, yeah, I think that's something that I'm seeing in the near future.
Mm. You're talking a lot about kind of back to basics and looking at that one pager and finding out the pillars where your customers are. And, you know, that retention ratio is so important. You know, it costs more to acquire a customer than to keep a customer. And if we look at those customers and who they are, we can then focus our time and effort in the areas that, you know, will gain the most value. So thank you very much, Janet. Really appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
And thank you everyone for listening. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask them. Our contact details will be at the end of the presentation if you do want to chat to any of the team. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much also, everyone.
Thank you.